Have you ever looked at your life and thought, why is this happening to me? Why did Allah take that person away? Why did the plan you trusted fall apart? Why does life sometimes feel like it's breaking you piece by piece? What if I told you, it expects not breaking you? It sets building you. Its Daxin was all part of a divine design. Every moment, the heartbreak, the loss, the delay, the silence. Allah is not punishing you. He's teaching you. Nothing in your life is random. Not a single tear, not a single test, not even the people who walked away. Every experience, good or bad, is a lesson written specifically for your soul. He's not trying to destroy your heart. He's trying to open it. Because through that opening, through that pain, through that surrender, you begin to see that everything that happens is for your growth. So before you ask, why me? Pause for a moment and ask, what is Allah trying to show me through this? Every morning, before the noise of the world reaches you, whisper to your heart, I am nothing without Allah. The ego hates this truth. It wants you to believe you are self-made, strong on your own, capable without help. But Ibn Arabi and the great Sufis remind us, the one who knows his nothingness has already begun to know Allah. When you realize that your existence depends entirely on Him, your heart softens. You no longer rush into the day chasing outcomes. You begin the day surrendering them. This single truth can change the entire direction of your day, because the moment you forget it, pride begins to grow, quietly, invisibly, convincing you that you are in control, that you earned everything you have. But when you pause and truly reflect, you realize every breath you take is borrowed. Every beat of your heart is sustained by His mercy. You own nothing. You control nothing. You are nothing except what Allah allows you to be. Because when you carry the awareness of Allah's presence, every step becomes worship. Every challenge becomes a lesson. You no longer feel alone because you understand that the same one who created the universe is guiding your path. And when that truth settles in your heart, your worries begin to fade. You stop asking, why me? And start saying, Ya Allah, guide me. So before you check your phone, before you plan your tasks, take a deep breath and remind yourself, I am a servant, not a master. I am guided, not in control. My success, my energy, my peace, all come from Him. This simple remembrance destroys arrogance and invites barakah. It turns your morning from ordinary to sacred. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be aware. The greatest strength is not in pretending you have control, but in admitting your weakness before the one who controls all things. That's the secret of peace. The Sufis carried in their hearts the humility to say, I am nothing, and that is where I find everything. When you open your eyes each morning, you step into a day written long before you were born. Every conversation, every challenge, every delay, it's already part of a divine design created by Allah. So remind yourself gently, whatever happens today is for my growth. Start every morning with this truth, and you will see how Allah lifts the burdens you were never meant to carry alone. We often think life is supposed to go exactly the way we plan. But sometimes, the very thing that frustrates you is what's shaping you. The delay you hate is protecting you. The disappointment you feel is teaching you patience. The pain that breaks you is polishing your soul for something greater. Allah never sends difficulty without purpose. Every test carries a lesson meant only for you. So when your day doesn't go as planned, don't rush to anger or despair. Pause and say, Ya Allah, what are you trying to show me through this? That question alone transforms your pain into wisdom. It shifts your perspective from victimhood to spiritual growth. You stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What am I meant to learn from this?" When you carry this mindset into your morning, the world changes. The traffic jam becomes a moment of reflection. The harsh word from someone becomes a lesson in restraint. Even silence becomes a message from the unseen. You start seeing meaning in everything because you realize nothing is random. Ibn Arabi said, "Every moment contains a message from God to the heart that is awake. When your heart is awake, no event feels wasted. Growth rarely feels comfortable. Just as the seed must split before it blooms, the soul must go through breaking before it awakens. Every hardship is a hidden mercy, an invitation from Allah to rise above what you were yesterday. When you start seeing life this way, peace no longer depends on ease. You become calm in chaos, knowing that every challenge is polishing your spirit. Because when Allah is your teacher, even pain becomes a blessing in disguise. So before you begin your day, anchor your heart in this truth. Whatever happens today is for my growth. Every day, from the moment you wake up, the world begins whispering to you. It makes you chase approval from people, from society, from numbers on a screen. It measures you by your appearance, your money, your followers, your success. And slowly, without realizing it, your heart starts believing that your value depends on what the world thinks of you. But the truth is far greater, far purer. Your worth does not come from how people see you. It comes from how close you are to Allah. The Sufis understood this better than anyone. They would say, "The one who knows Allah needs nothing from the world because he has found everything." When you wake up, remind yourself, my worth comes from my connection to Allah. The moment your heart connects to your Creator, you are no longer a beggar for attention. You become a servant of the Most High. Say it until your soul believes it. Because if Allah is pleased with you, you are rich, even if you have nothing. And if He is displeased with you, you are poor, even if you have everything. True wealth is not in the hands, it is in the heart that remembers its Lord. Think about it. The people you compare yourself to, the ones who seem so confident, are often the most lost inside. They have everything but peace. When your heart finds that nearness, you stop competing with others. And peace only comes from one place, nearness to Allah. You stop craving recognition, because you realize you were already chosen by Allah when He created you from nothing. You stop trying to prove your worth. Every prayer you make, every tear that falls in sajda, every sin you sincerely regret, all of it increases your worth in the unseen. The angels record your effort, not your results. And that is what makes you valuable, not your status, not your perfection, but your sincerity. Ibn Arabi once wrote, "The value of a human being is measured by the truth that resides in his heart." So guard that truth. Keep your heart connected, even when life pulls you away. When you walk through your day with this awareness, the world's insults no longer cut you. If you fail at something, you stay calm, because your worth doesn't depend on success. If someone disrespects you, you smile, because your dignity doesn't come from them. If you lose what you love, you trust, because your true treasure was never in what could be taken away. This is freedom, to live without constantly needing validation. The connection you have with Allah is the light that defines you, to know that you are seen, loved, and valued by the one who never forgets you. It doesn't fade when people walk away. It doesn't dim when life gets dark. It shines from within, quietly, steadily, eternally. So each morning, before you let the world tell you who you are, Speak this truth to your soul. Say it when you feel low. My worth comes from my connection to Allah. Say it when you sit rejected. Say it when you made mistakes. Because no matter how far you've fallen, the door to Him is always open, and that is the greatest proof of your worth. The closer you are to Allah, the lighter your heart becomes. You stop needing to be seen, because you know you're already known. You stop needing to be loved by many, because you're loved by the one who matters most. So let the world say what it wants. Your worth is not on display. It's in your heart, where Allah resides. And when that truth settles in your soul, you will walk through life not as someone trying to prove their value, but as someone who has already found it. Protect it, nourish it, and begin every morning knowing this unshakable truth. You are enough, because you belong to the one who made you from His love. When your eyes open in the morning, before the thoughts, before the worries, before the rush, pause, take a breath. You've just been handed something priceless, another day of life. But you were chosen to rise again. That means Allah still has a purpose for you, a reason to breathe, to walk, to worship, to become. Thousands of souls didn't wake up today. Their stories have ended. Their chances are gone. And the first words that should rise from your heart are, Alhamdulillah. All praise belongs to the one who gave me one more sunrise, one more chance, one more heartbeat. Gratitude is not just a polite word, it's a way of seeing. When you wake up with gratitude, you see meaning in everything. The air you breathe feels like a mercy. The sunlight on your face feels like a sign. Even the challenges ahead feel like invitations to grow. But when you forget to be grateful, everything feels heavy. The day becomes a burden instead of a blessing. Gratitude doesn't change your circumstances. It changes the way you see them. It turns your ordinary morning into a sacred moment of remembrance. The Sufis often said, the thankful heart is the throne of Allah's mercy. When your tongue says Alhamdulillah, your heart begins to soften. Because where gratitude lives, peace follows. The walls built by fear and doubt start to fall. You begin to feel that everything in your life, even the smallest things, are part of a divine conversation between you and your Creator. Think about this. Every morning is a message from Allah saying, I have not given up on you. He's giving you another opportunity to return, to do better, to begin again. Even if yesterday was filled with mistakes, He still chose to wake you up today. That's mercy, a mercy greater than we can comprehend. And yet, so often we wake up and immediately complain. But imagine if we shifted that. It sits too early. I sit tired. I hate my job. Life is hard. Because gratitude is not about ignoring your struggles, it's about seeing Allah within them. Imagine starting your day with, Ya Allah, thank you for another chance to please you. That one thought can transform your entire morning. You may not have everything you want, but look closer. You still have everything you need. You have air, health, hope, and above all, a Lord who listens. That alone is enough to be grateful for. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, whoever wakes up secure in his home, healthy in his body, and has food for the day, it is as if he possesses the whole world. Gratitude also brings you closer to contentment. Reflect on that. You may not have wealth, status, or luxury, but if you woke up safe, healthy, and fed, you already have what most of the world is praying for. When you thank Allah sincerely, He reveals blessings you didn't even notice before. Ibn Arabi once wrote that gratitude is the bridge between the visible and the unseen. Your eyes open to the beauty hidden in plain sight. A breeze, a smile, a verse that touches your heart. The more you thank him, the more you recognize his presence in every corner of your life. And when that realization hits you, you stop chasing happiness, because you realize you already have it. But here's something deeper. Gratitude is not just words. It sections how you live. It sets in the patience you show during difficulty. It's in the way you forgive when you could have held a grudge. It's in the way you serve others without expecting reward. True gratitude shows in how you carry your soul with humility, with peace, with light. Every day, life gives you reasons to complain and reasons to be grateful. Complain, and your blessings fade from your sight. You choose which one you feed. I am grateful for the gift of another day. Be grateful, and they multiply, not because Allah gives you more things, but because your heart learns to see what was always there. So each morning, before you check your phone, before you talk to anyone, whisper this to yourself. Say it until your heart slows down, until the stress of yesterday releases its grip. Say it until you feel it. Remember that this day, this exact moment, will never come again. You will never live this sunrise twice. So make it count. Smile, even if you sit tired. Pray, even if your heart feels distant. Because gratitude is not about perfection, it's about perspective. Thank Allah, even if your life isn't set perfect. One day when you don't wake up, your life will become a story people tell. And when your heart sees through the lens of gratitude, even the smallest thing becomes a miracle. Make sure that story was filled with thankfulness. Make sure it's the story of someone who woke up every day knowing that life itself was a divine gift. So today and every day after, let these words guide your soul. Alhamdulillah for another day to return to you, my Lord. Because as long as you are alive, as long as your heart still beats, Allah is still calling you, giving you another sunrise to remember Him, to seek Him, and to thank Him. In that silence, remind yourself. When you wake up in the morning, before the noise of the world begins, there's a sacred stillness, a silence in which your soul can finally hear. Every sunrise is a new page in the curriculum of your soul. Whatever happens today, good or bad, it is not random. It is part of my divine education. Because Allah, in His infinite wisdom, is always teaching you. You see, you don't grow in comfort. Every experience, whether joyful or painful, is a verse written for your growth. But most people rush through life, trying to avoid hardship, trying to escape pain, never realizing the pain itself is the path. You don't evolve in ease. Allah sends those storms not to drown you, but to cleanse you. The garden of the soul doesn't bloom under constant sunlight. It needs both rain and storm. He removes, He delays, He breaks, only to build something deeper inside you. The one who sees Allah in all that befalls him, he has found the secret of life. Ibn Arabi wrote, "When you truly believe this, everything changes. The heartbreak you once mourned becomes purification. The delay you once cursed becomes a protection. The confusion you once hated becomes clarity in disguise. You start to see meaning where you once saw misery." Most people only thank Allah when things go right. But the real lovers of Allah, the seekers, they thank Him even when things go wrong. That every fall is a form of rising. Because they've learned that every wrong moment is secretly right, and that every loss is a door toward finding Him again. Think of your life. Remember those moments you thought were the end, when you said, I can go on. Something within you kept moving, kept believing, kept hoping. That something was not your strength. It was Allah carrying you, silently, through the storm. But somehow you did. Sometimes Allah breaks your heart to rebuild your faith. Sometimes He takes away what you love most, to give you what your soul truly needs. Sometimes He closes every door until you realize the only door that was ever open was His. And when you finally walk through it, you see what all the pain was for. He was never punishing you. He was preparing you. He was never ignoring you. He was positioning you. He was never rejecting you. He was redirecting you. Every disappointment is a reminder that this world was never meant to fulfill you. Every heartbreak is a mirror. It reflects where your attachments still lie. Every hardship is a whisper, come closer to me. Allah teaches through contrast. He shows you darkness, so you appreciate light. He tests your patience to reveal your strength. He makes you taste emptiness, so you hunger for truth. He lets you fall, so you can feel the sweetness of surrender. He delays His response, so your dua becomes purer. When you lose something, ask not why, but what am I being taught? There are lessons in every breath, if only you pause long enough to see. If Allah loves a servant, He tests him. The Prophet ﷺ said, because every soul is enrolled in the University of Divine Experience. Why? Because tests are not punishments, they are refinements. A test means Allah has chosen you for a higher level of faith. But we often resist that polishing. He is polishing your heart like a diamond, removing the dust of illusion so that your light can shine. We want comfort, not transformation. We want the blessing without the breaking. Yet without breaking, there is no awakening. Without emptiness, there is no longing. If you wish to know how close you are to Allah, look at how you respond when life doesn't go your way. And without longing, there is no love. The great Sufis used to say, do you despair or do you trust? Do you despair or do you trust? Do you complain or do you reflect? Do you resist or do you surrender? Because surrender is not weakness. It sets the highest form of strength. It means you've realized that control was never yours to begin with, and that realization is what makes the heart free. Every challenge you face is a conversation between you and Allah. Sometimes He speaks through success, sometimes through loss, sometimes through joy, sometimes through pain. But every message carries the same meaning. Come closer to me. When something breaks, your heart opens. And when light enters, understanding dawns. When it opens, light enters. You begin to see that Allah has never left you, not even for a heartbeat. You were just too distracted to notice. But in the moments of pain, the noise fades, and your soul finally hears His call. That is the moment transformation begins. There is a moment in every hardship when the soul stops asking, why is this happening to me? And starts whispering, Ya Allah, what are you showing me? Because now you are no longer a victim of life. You are a student of it. You begin to walk with awareness, patience, and peace. And suddenly, the same life that once felt heavy begins to feel sacred. Even the smallest moments, the rain, the quiet, the laughter, the tears, all become signs of Allah's presence. The entire universe is a book written by Allah, and every experience is a verse within it. Ibn Arabi said, you are living inside a divine revelation. Every delay, every detour, every difficulty, All of it is a line in that book. Your story is not meaningless. It is written with precision, with mercy, with love. And when you finally reach the end, you will realize that every single word was perfect. So tell yourself every morning, whatever today brings, it is my lesson. Allah is teaching me something I need to learn. When you face rejection, learn detachment. When you face loss, learn gratitude. When you face delay, learn patience. When you face humiliation, learn humility. Every emotion is a messenger from Allah. When you face success, learn gratitude without pride. Don't test, silence it. Understand it. Your sadness says, you have attached to something other than me. Your fear says, you have forgotten who protects you. Your anxiety says, you are trying to control what only I control. Your joy says, you remembered me, and I remembered you. That's what it means to live consciously, to see the divine hand in everything, to realize that every event, even the smallest, is a spiritual message coded in the language of experience. You no longer beg for what's gone. You trust in what's coming. And when you start seeing that way, your entire reality changes. You no longer fight life. You flow with it. You no longer ask for comfort. You ask for wisdom. Because you finally understand that your soul came here not to be entertained, but to evolve. The truth is, your pain has a purpose. Your struggle is sacred. And your tears are prayers in a language only Allah understands. Your wounds are teachers. So stop asking to escape the storm. Instead, ask Allah to make you see through it. Because somewhere inside that storm is a message written just for you. A message that says, I am here. I am guiding you. Keep walking. When you begin to trust this truth, peace enters your heart. Not because life becomes easier, but because your soul finally understands the meaning behind it. You realize that every moment of your life, whether bitter or sweet, was Allah shaping you into who you were meant to be. I am not unlucky. I am being guided. I am not being punished. I am being purified. So each morning, whisper to your heart, because the believer never loses, he either wins or grows. I am not losing. I am learning. And that is the secret. And when you surrender to His will, you finally begin to live in peace, no matter what happens. When you see Allah in everything, you stop fearing anything. When you trust His wisdom, you stop doubting your journey. So let this be your final reminder. Everything that happens to you, every joy, every loss, every delay, every pain, is not happening to you, but for you, for your growth, for your awakening, for your return to Allah. Because through every heartbeat, every trial, every tear, Allah is whispering the same truth. I am teaching you, my servant. I am raising you, polishing you, loving you. Trust me. I never make mistakes. So when life feels heavy, when your plans fall apart, when the path you trusted suddenly disappears, remember this truth. Allah never makes mistakes. What you're facing right now isn't a punishment. It's a lesson. It's Allah teaching your soul what comfort could never teach. He's not trying to hurt you. He's trying to grow you. Every delay, every heartbreak, every silence is Allah saying, be patient. Something better is coming. And maybe that better isn't a person, or a job, or a moment. Maybe that better is you, the version of you that finally trusts, that finally lets go, that finally sees Allah in everything. So don't sit, curse your hardships. Don't wish them away. They are not walls, they are doors. Doors that lead you closer to the one who has always been guiding you, even when you couldn't see it. Because the truth is, you were never alone in your pain. You were being shaped, refined, and lifted by the one who loves you most. And one day, when you look back, you still smile through the tears and say, "Now I understand. Every moment was for my growth. Every lesson was mercy in disguise." So whisper it to your soul every night before you sleep. Allah is still writing my story, and His stories always end with mercy.